welcome back from New Year's to everybody. Hope you're all enjoying the time back. We're halfway through January. Isn't that nice? Halfway through. We're well on our way to Super Bowl.
Yay!
Or Valentine's Day, whichever you choose. Okay, we're almost there, huh? Yeah, doing the same thing. You in, Shannon?
Mhm.
All right. If you'd like, yeah, you'll catch up.
Can you do the pledge?
Welcome back. We just were in closed session. We're now back in open session. I would entertain a motion for student discipline.
Pledge first.
I have, mine has, item number 3 is discipline.
Okay, Mr. President, I move that we approve the findings of the board in student case number 23-21-0430.
I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Ethan?
Yes.
Mrs. Carey?
Yes.
Dr. Parks?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Mrs. Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Ed?
Yes. Motion passed 7-0. Thank you. That brings us to item number 4, the consent agenda. We have several corrections, please.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the consent agenda with the following change. We need to remove the minutes from 11:30, November 30th. And was there one other or not?
Just that one.
Okay,
Just that.
And then we have these two changes.
that's in the actual
Okay.
agenda? Yeah,
Gotcha.
okay.
I think there's more. Item number 6 is rename partnership with
Would you like that now, or would you like that during the regular
all
agenda?
of them. Yeah, I mean, because it's part of
Okay.
the consent, part
And then,
of the agenda.
okay, then for the regular agenda, item number 6, we need to change the name of that partnership to the Carl Foundation.
Mhm.
And number 7, we need to drop number 7, that item from the agenda.
And that's it?
We don't need the one.
Okay. I may have a second for that.
Second.
Any other additions, corrections, or discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Carey?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Dr. Parks?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Easton?
Yes.
Dr. Ed?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. We will change those things as we go. This brings us to item number 5, public comment.
Lisa Beer?
Did I push that on? Bigger light.
Is it on? That's okay. Thanks. Good evening, Board of Education, Dr. Geddes. My name is Lisa Behrens. And last time I was here, I felt that I was disrespected. There was talking going on while I was still in my 5-minute time limit. And I just wanted to point out that I have been more than respectful when I'm here speaking, and I don't think it's too much to ask for the same. Your Board of Education, guidelines even say that, you'll be respectful and open to public comments and things like that. And I felt like what went on the last meeting was very disrespectful. So enough said about that. And I hope, moving forward, that isn't the case anymore. I feel like what I have to say is very important. There's lots of people who are interested in what I have to say. Whether they're here or not, they are watching, whether live or after the fact. But that I do deserve my 5 minutes of time. So tonight I wanted to present some findings. This is in regards to the conflict of interest portion of the Board of Education policy. No Board of Education member shall have a beneficial interest directly or indirectly in any contract, work, or business of the district unless permitted by state or federal law. Must annually file a statement of economic interests. So I've done a little research, and there was a statement of economic interest filed with the county clerk. This one is stamped August 29th. For Mrs. Schrader, who is the Best Version media publisher and marketing person for the Danville area living. In there, the section 2 is list the source of any income in excess of $7,500, when in fact the actual contracts for the advertising in this magazine on behalf of District 118, there is $19,044 for a 36-month contract. That's $529 a month. And the contract reads that the money will be dispersed whether there's advertising or not in any one of these publications. Also, a sports ad agreement. This is a 12-month agreement for $1,080 or $90 a month. And also same wording regarding ads regardless of whether, or disbursements, regardless of whether or not the ads actually appear. I noticed in November of 2022, there's no District 118 sports ad that we paid $90 for. I don't know how many times this has gone on. The actual contract, the initial one was signed November 5th of 2021. I didn't go back very far to see how many ads we actually got versus what we paid for. And then the sports contract is January 18th of 2022. And so based on Mrs. Schrader, signature of, economic interest, I feel like there's a conflict of interest here that, would, in my opinion, warrant a little further investigation from the board and board's attorney. So moving forward, I would suggest abstaining from any future votes on the financial consent agenda where best version media is involved. That seems to be the most appropriate thing to do. And then I also think that, further review, a written response to the findings of the review. This is public dollars we're talking about here. So I think that's appropriate as well. And, and in closing, thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Ashton, Dr. Geddes, and board. My name is Alyssa Staley. I am a second-year English teacher at Danville High School. If you remember, I was here back in November and had talked about some of the things that were happening at DHS, especially within my classroom. And I had invited Pastor Miller to join a discussion panel for my class, and he came, and it was wonderful. I hope you feel the same way, sir. He was on a panel with Pastor Ricky Hoskins, Mrs. Lindsay Moore, Miss Erin Leverins, Officer Luann Ellen, and Mr. David Groves. And all of them answered questions pertaining to gun violence, choosing good influences in their life, how to create a positive image for the community to get support from the community for DHS, and how to be successful once they leave DHS upon graduating. the students, Pastor Miller, have designed and signed a thank you poster for you for coming and speaking and sharing your time and your wisdom with them. So I'm going to go ahead and use part of my time to walk over and hand this to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
As we know, in education, it takes a village. And as a second year teacher, I am very appreciative of any time I have support from my administration, my school board, and my fellow teachers. I've been very lucky so far in having the support of my parents as well. So I would like to thank Pastor Miller once again for coming and giving your time and your wisdom, and Miss Robinson for joining us for all 3 classes and sitting in the back and watching some of the questions going on and just being there. Your presence was very much appreciated. So thank you very much for joining us, and if we manage to do that again this spring, I will let you know, sir. But thank you.
We're glad to help you.
Thank you for comments. Item number 6, partnership with Carl Healthcare. We have a recommendation.
Yes, sir. So we have, this has actually been ongoing for about 2 years that we've been on the committee for Carl, and I've brought to the board about two to three times. This is actually the item where the partnership will bring to our community a new grocery store on the east side, the mobile health clinic, and our community received a substantial grant. And what kicked it off to show the partnership was that we were already with Southern Illinois Healthcare Foundation, and we had the clinic coming too. So that was the confusion with the names. But we want your official permission to sign off on the document so that our community can receive, I think, Pastor, is it like about $400,000, something like that? The partnership that brings Heavenly Square to the community. Did they ever give us a full dollar amount? Because the state actually sent the committee back to alter the application because they wanted to give more money. They were like, oh, you didn't think about this enough. So the dollar amount keeps changing. So that's why I can't give you the exact amount, because they keep sending the committee back to fix the grant to get more money. But we won't actually be the beneficiary. No, let me not say that. We won't receive dollars, but certainly as part of the community, we receive the benefits. So I just would like permission to sign off on our portion. Carl is actually acting as the fiscal agent for the partnership. So all the monies will flow through them. And I just need permission to sign off officially on the agreement that we talked about about a year and a half ago.
Okay, so before you have a recommendation to approve this agreement and signing off on this agreement, how say you, board?
Move to approve.
Second.
So this isn't a cost, this is a benefit to us.
Correct. And
Okay.
I will participate.
That game. So this is not to spend money, it's to basically go on with the agreement. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote please.
Mrs. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Schreier,
Yes.
Dr. Parks,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Abstain.
Mrs. Potter,
Abstain.
Mr. Easton,
Yes.
and Dr. Ashe.
Yes, motion passes 5, no nays, 2 abstentions. Thank you. I did get that right, 2 abstentions, correct?
Correct.
All right. Item number 7, approval to change the regular board yeah, we pulled that. So, item 8, policies. Trust 109, a recommendation, I'm sure, to approve this. Correct?
Correct. The only thing, so this is press policy that we receive as a benefit of the money we pay to the Illinois School Boards Association. But certainly, we don't have an attorney on staff that can analyze all of the laws. I would like to draw your attention to, because we have to make a decision, I think it may be page 101 for yours, but it is policy number 580, and as it relates to court duty. And so my recommendation is that you allow us to say yes, that we will allow this language for court duty to apply to both licensed and educational support staff. If we could have, it's a required question. And so remember I have a paper copy, so my numbers may be different, but it's under policy 580 court duty.
Just read that.
570, 580, court duty. District will pay full salary during the time a licensed client is absent due to a subpoena to serve as a witness in a trial. There's also several other questions in here that while we're thinking, I'll go back to this in a second. But in the beginning of this, it talks about our public comments policy. And there's also several questions in the public comment, and feel free, if you want to amend this and change this as we go through the year, you can go back and we can amend this at any time. But at the moment, we do not have a limit. I don't think it's set in there on 109, the way it is now, on the total amount of time that we devote to public comment. Correct?
Not cumulatively.
No, we have a 5-minute limit is what we have, and we could alter that if we choose, but we could also put a limit on an hour because other districts have problems where they'll have 2 hours of public comments. Some of these districts up north, and they tell me routinely that they have meetings till 11:30 at night. Yeah, well, we have gone to 10:30. But I don't think we have the need to do that, but I'm just bringing it up because it's in here if we choose to do so. But now to court duty. It says the district pay full salary during the time a licensed employee is absent due to a subpoena, and then we'll pay full salary time to a licensed employee. And you want to make it say
that the court duty language should apply. It's a benefit or provision given to both licensed and our ed support staff. Because currently the law just says licensed, and certainly we have support staff. So that would be our custodians.
So it appears that the change was made to, from all staff to licensed only, and I'm hearing you suggest that we make it available to licensed and support staff instead of just making it toward our licensed staff.
Correct.
Is there something that we need to change at this point, or
No, I
just
just-
leave it for you to be able to?
Actually, I need the board's okay to do that.
yeah, I mean, if we vote yes, because she's going to propose that now, we would just include that in the policy.
Correct.
Okay, so I don't know if that would be an amendment to it. So I'm just going to say, and that's an editorial change to it.
Okay.
And we would accept that to the press 109, and we just vote on it as if we accept 109, we would accept that.
Gotcha.
Is there any problem with that? Okay. I mean, it's just procedural. Is all that is. It's just how do we get to that? Okay, so we'll accept that editorial. All right. Any other questions or comments on 109? We have a motion to accept, right? Lakeisha, do we know? Okay. Then I want a motion to accept, and then we can have the discussion.
So move. Second.
Hey, you guys, this is awesome. Okay, helping my parliamentary procedure here. Now, any questions or comments? Like, that's when we should have done it.
I just think that it's almost something we have to do, because we can't decide who gets a subpoena to appear before for jury duty. So yeah, we need to make sure everybody knows. This will cover custodians and all.
And food service.
Okay.
Which is what we do in our collective bargaining agreements.
Yeah. Okay.
And what that's telling me is that some districts are doing, or they're not covering giving the regular pay, standard pay to the custodians or food service, and yet we're doing more. Is that the case?
No, sometimes the people who make the laws don't actually realize what it is to implement the laws, and so we have to make some changes to make it practical for schools to actually apply the law. So we make amendments to say we have to include everyone.
So they still sign that little check over to the district and then
Ah.
that $10 or?
So the district's practice on that has varied.
Does that increase?
Oh, that was a joke. All right. Okey doke. So, seeing no other comments or questions, okay, you know what we're voting on, 109 with that, that caveat in 580 on court duty that we will cover everybody. This is, folks, this is not a huge monetary item here, okay? This is right, HR. I mean, this is, it doesn't happen to a lot of people, and it's nice that someone covers you while you know while you're there. I won't speak for every business because everybody's business does this differently. So we're just doing what we're going to do here. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Schreider,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mr. Easton.
Yes.
Mrs. Howard,
Yes.
Pastor Lewis,
Yes.
Spears,
Yes.
Marquez.
Three papers.
Yes. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you. Brings us to policy number 9, which is 8. Buildings and grounds. Accept bid for KDBA addition and remodel. And you have a recommendation.
I do.
Good
This
evening.
will cost us.
Yeah, this is gonna cost.
I mean, we've been talking about it forever. So
Yeah, well, it's, project's been approved. I'm just here with the bid, but,
the pictures look great.
you like the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're even in color.
Architects have a way of doing that, don't they?
They make the neighborhood look.
Yeah,
pretty.
everything looks great.
Yeah.
And then we should like send a picture when we're doing and go, it's not quite exactly like you okay.
I got it.
Yeah. All right.
Got
What do you have for us?
Okay, what I have is we had 4 contractors that bid the job, and the lowest bid and the contractor that actually won the award is AE Contractors of Elk Grove, Illinois, for $11,888,000.
And you would like us to accept their bid
Yes, I would.
for additions for the remodel of KDBA?
This is new windows, new roof, new heating, air conditioning, the addition, and painting upgrades, different things like that, lighting,
Parking lot?
so, parking lot, playground, outdoor. There's one picture in there. The fence isn't quite right, but there's an outdoor learning center with its own outdoor furniture and things of that nature. New restrooms, and the gymnasium is actually a FEMA shelter. So I don't know if anyone's aware of that or not, but it needs to be noted.
Okay. So we have
The
this
one
on.
that's there now?
Pardon me?
You're saying the one that's there now is a FEMA shelter?
No, the gym that will be built will be
Okay.
self-sufficient. It'll be a FEMA shelter, actually.
Okay.
It'll have its own power, its own restroom. It'll handle a tornado.
Okay. Love to have a motion so we can discuss this.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Yes.
Now?
How many extra classrooms and how many extra students will this improved facility serve?
There'll be 8 classrooms. As far as the students, you'd have to ask the principal that. I'm not sure. I wouldn't know how many students they'd want to add.
This is 8 additional classrooms
Yes. And restrooms.
and restrooms.
And conference center.
Not 8 restrooms?
And enclosed, no, not 8 restrooms, but new restrooms. An enclosed entry area, so that once you come in, the entry area, it's secure, and you cannot go any further into the building. It's pretty safe. Actually, it's bulletproof glass on the entry. I mean, it's today's world.
I have a follow-up question. Are there plans in this to have the current classrooms that are kind of like half classrooms? They've been divided up, or some of them are kind of closet size. Are there plans to expand those so that they'll have more breathing room in those classrooms?
Those classrooms will stay the same because normally there's only 4 or 6 students, maybe 8 in those classrooms, but they will stay the same. There are some larger classrooms, part of the problem is there's not anywhere for the social worker, I mean, the guidance or I think they're social workers. I can't remember, yeah. But it's pretty cramped in there. It's
So
really cramped in
We're
there.
not gonna undo some classrooms have been divided, we're not going to undo
No,
what
we're
has been
not.
done. And those
We're
SBC are small classrooms.
And, the decking underneath the roof, during the inspection, we were walking across and looking at everything, and the roof does wave a lot. And, there's been a little bit of added expense because we don't know exactly how much is rotted, but we have a pretty good idea. So it has to be completely ripped off, and we may have to put some new decking stuff on. But,
Mr. Truex, do you know what they're hoping for a completion date is?
yeah, we're hoping for a completion date of 2024. If the board accepts the bid, we'll start notice to proceed and get the contracts and documents ready to go. And some of the work we've already discussed, timelines and when we can possibly do some of the work. And I've tried to figure out how to stage some of the things, but there'll be a lot of the work that'll take place even throughout the winter or as soon as we get started.
Thank you.
How was the bid, are the bids pretty close to how it's spec'd out by the architect?
They are. Actually, they
Okay,
are.
so not a surprise here then.
Nothing's a surprise.
Okay.
No.
Second follow-up question, like Shannon said, follow-up. The contractors, are they, if they're from Elk Grove,
Mhm.
I mean, do they just bring a crew down here for the whole thing, or do they subcontract out to the area?
No, it'll be area contractors. I mean, I always specify and ask for a list
Yeah.
of subcontractors that they will probably be using. So I have that list. And actually, I have a lot of information on the contractor itself. I've done some background on that. They do quite a bit of work at the University of Illinois. They do a lot of work downstate. They do work in several areas in central Illinois. They're a pretty large company. And when you have a project of this size or even Northeast, we're going to have people from Chicago and other areas that are going to bid.
Yeah, that's fine. And that's fine. Okay.
I've a follow-up question.
Yep. Okay.
Remind me of the law. Are we obligated by law to accept the lowest bid?
Yes, basically you are.
We are.
Actually, it's the lowest responsible bid.
Responsible bid.
Right.
Right.
That responsible
Okay.
is the key.
And it
Um,
sounds to me like you've done a really good job vetting this contracting company.
Yes. And I even have all the information from even their employee information and who they have and, what projects they've worked on. Some of the projects that they've done recently is they've done a lot for Chicago Public Schools. They did the Walt Disney Magnet School, UIC Medical Science Building. That's just to name a few. They've done a lot of metro buildings. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Now they could put KDBA on their resume
They could put it on there.
when they get done. They'll probably be the jewel and showcase of their website.
Your research, did it indicate the diversity of their employees? Isn't this government money?
Pardon me?
Isn't this government money we're using?
Yes, it is.
So they would have a certain requirement.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, and they meet
All
that.
contractors do. Yes, they do.
Okay.
Mhm. And most of the subcontractors that they have are pretty local. And what we consider local is Champaign, Decatur. We don't have the number of contractors that we used to around here 20 years ago. But,
Skip, it's probably not, Mr. Truex, it's probably not fair for me to say this to you because I think you've done a good job. But from the start of this project, I've been really concerned that it's not big enough. I think that our alternative needs for alternative the students that could benefit from an alternative education are actually a lot larger than what we're doing here. My concern is that we're going to turn around and fill this really quickly and then need more space. So I'm wrestling with it. But I just want you to know it's not because I didn't think you did an amazing job, because I think you did, and I thank you for it.
I looked at how many students were in there and I don't recall at this point, but they'll be able to add quite a few students to the building, especially with the addition of the gym. you know, it frees up a lot. Right now, they're really crowded in that gym trying to do lunch and, you know, different things of that nature. But, you know, I can't answer how many students would be at that, but we're.
Okay, so the recommendation is to accept the bid with AE Contractors Elk Grove, $11,888,000 for KDBA work. We have a motion and a second. If there's nothing else, I would say a roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Howard?
Yes.
Mrs. Strider?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Mr. Easton?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Terry?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. We look forward
Thank
to
you.
having it done. Okay. That brings us to item 10. Curriculum. The emergency elective course replacement for Northridge. Ooh, it sounds dire.
Can be. Good evening, board and Dr. Geddes. My name is Brian Cloud. I'm the fine arts facilitator. I'm actually pinch hitting for Mrs. Bunt. She's a little under the weather, so she asked if I'd present, and I said absolutely. So, the curriculum office is presenting the following course as an emergency elective replacement at Northridge Middle School. The following course, entitled Music and Culture, pending your approval, will be taught by Miss Lerner. We plan to expose students to music from different cultures, genres, and time periods, and then show them how the music examples influence modern music. The course is a 1 semester long, and it's going to be offered to both 7th and 8th grade students, and the curriculum will be forthcoming for that once we do this.
And you recommend that we approve this?
I do.
Okay, you have a recommendation for approval of this course for Northridge, 7th and 8th grade. May I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
What was the emergency?
Hopefully I'm speaking this right. The teacher is now a intern, social working intern, so that opened up an elective. So Miss Lerner was willing to take this over.
It's immediate, not really emergency.
Yeah.
Do you know how many students you expect?
Well, I believe that they have almost every hour about 25 kids,
Okay.
roughly. I mean, give or take some. I don't know the exact numbers, but from what Miss Lerner had said,
We've not taught the class before.
no. So I am working on the curriculum right now.
So it's new, completely new.
Yes.
Okay.
Completely new.
Okay, anything else? So we're voting on the new course for Northridge. I like your tie,
Thank you.
and the course sounds like fun. So,
It should be.
roll call vote, please.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Strider?
Yes.
Mr. Easton?
Yes.
Mrs. Terry?
Yes.
Mrs. Howard?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
You have a lot of success up here, Brian, so, you know,
Keep coming.
yeah. Kind of like the tech people, they always get what they ask for. Okay. Anna, you're next. Good luck. Yeah. Let's see, item number 1110.
It went right over his head.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
School
Part.
resource
like your time,
officer.
Mr.
School resource officer.
Thank you.
What
We do
about
We like your time, Mr. Hart.
Thank you.
SROs?
SROs. So in November, we signed an agreement to have the three SROs, school resource officers in our district. However, at that time, really a lot of the blame goes on me. Really didn't think about retro paying to July 1. I think I made that assumption that it was for the school year, but I want to make sure that I do have your approval that it's retro to July 1. We have not paid that yet. We've paid it from November up to now, but would like to pay them the retro pay to July 1st with your permission.
Move to approve.
Second. I thought they said they didn't want it. What's that?
Wow.
know they're on. I just say it. I'll do whatever. I have a motion and a second. Do I have any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Easton,
Yes.
Mrs. Beard,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Strike,
Yes.
Mrs. Holland,
Yes.
Dr.
Yes, motion passes 7-0, and I think you voted wisely. Okay, so is all I have to say. I don't think.
Can we take just a quick second and thank the SROs? They really have an amazing job.
Miss Howard, you took my thunder. I saw on the news where there was SRO Day, and I had never seen that before. And I was going to
Let's do it.
say, apologize. I had never seen it before, but I really do appreciate you.
Take an SRO to lunch. Okay?
I'll take it to lunch.
Okay. Take two. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And that brings us to item 11B.
All about the SROs, all about the police department tonight.
It's good.
So, solar speed signs.
Solar speed signs, so
Brought to you.
Staff, the community, the Danville Police Department. This has actually been a conversation, board members, this has actually been a conversation for a while. Putting in signs in place to increase the safety in around our schools. We know that there are speeders in the school zones.
No.
And so when I spoke with Chief Yates, and we came up with a plan to try to meet the immediate need with the electric signs. So I'm asking your permission to purchase 7 signs. Again, the cost to the district would be for the signs. The actual installation, the city would cover that part of it. But right now we're looking at the signs going north and south on Jackson Street in front of Northridge. 2 near the Magnet School on Voorhees, going north and south. Danville High School, we would have 1 sign on Jackson Street facing north near the railroad crossing, and 1 sign on Fairchild near Kingdom Street heading west. And then Mark Denman, we would have a sign on Fairchild Street facing west near Ball Street. And Chief Yates was pretty confident that the other direction, the traffic is pretty well slowed by the 4-way stop. So that's the reason only 1 stop there. I'm hoping with this that we can work with the city and maybe get some crosswalks painted again. They're pretty faded. So we've had a good partnership with the Danville Police Department, and I really feel like this is another step in that direction and provide safety for our students.
Okay, so you have a motion, a recommendation for signs for a total of $21,600 for the digital speed signs. What say you, board?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I have
Who
a
makes
question.
those
I have a question.
signs?
Oh, go ahead.
Who makes those signs? Lynn? Oh, that's who we've been working with. Who is it?
City radar speed signs.
Elan, E-L-A.
There you go.
Radar.
Elan Radar
A
Signs,
specific
yes.
company that makes,
Yes,
a specific
and
thing.
actually Chief Yates did a lot of research
Find
on
that.
these signs, and I actually even have a list of towns that have used them, police departments, and so they've been vetted, approved. We received a thumbs up
Mr.
for
Park, let me
the
actually
signs.
give credit where credit's due. It was Mr. Easton who sent us down that road, who came up with the idea. This was your project,
Well,
that you,
thank you. I'm glad it's happening. Thank you for your work on it. I'm glad to see it there. I just wondered about Southwest
About Southwest,
County School.
I have not looked at that. If that's the direction the board would like to go, then.
Well,
I'd be
I just
more
wonder, as
than-
long as somebody, is it needed or isn't it is the question. Like, I'm not an expert on that.
Are there a lot of walkers?
There are not, there are really no walkers at Southwest.
Road.
Yeah.
There aren't
So-
very many walkers out
There are sidewalks at Southwest
Yeah.
that go out that first.
And for somebody that's out there every day, you gotta go down in there
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
run over a kid. But I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is you would
Cut the
you would
cable.
have to go down in there
Yeah.
and really speeding to. And I think if we're gonna replace anything, replace their cones because some of us parents have kind of taken them out. But, so
Yeah.
it's no.
Yeah, the reason.
Yes.
I mean, I think this is great. I think that for the people in our community, you know, I don't think giving people tickets works. I think most people just don't know they're speeding. Sometimes giving them a ticket, you know how to do that. But I think most of the time we're just not paying attention, and I'm grateful that this will just add some extra care.
And these actually give drivers messages, these signs will provide, so you'll get the slow down message, and I think there's one that says great job or something, so
Oh,
there's
good.
some positive on those signs as well.
Thank you.
And they all send data to I'm so techie, some server out there that Danville Police Department can analyze the data, how many cars are speeding, which direction,
That's good.
traffic flow, blah, blah, blah. It's
With a license number?
It is not. No, it is not reading license plates. But
That could be
data can be drawn from the signs.
Yeah, but the city of Tilton has one right before you get to Southwest. Right as we coming in, as we pass the stop sign. So there's one out there, but not for the school. But there's one the city of Tilton has out
It's
there.
probably been there for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes. And on the memo that I have, the total cost of the 7 signs is $21,600, give or take a few cents either way. But it does say that this will be paid from Title IV. We did get word back that Title IV, it's a no-go. So I will find room in my budget to budget for the $21,000. So
When do you expect this to be complete?
ASAP, they call nonstop. They had a sale on signs, and they said on January, if you don't buy them now, January 1st, the price is going up. The price didn't go up. We have the signs, so I expect speedy delivery. And as soon as they get here, Chief Yates wants me to contact him to have them set up. So
Thank you.
I'm
saying
excited.
4 to 6 weeks.
I love those signs. I mean, and you're right. If you're not paying attention, when you see that, you don't even have to read the sign. You go, if you see one of those digital signs, you go, oh crap.
And it's
I
flashing.
should be, yeah, I should slow down. Whatever it is, I don't even know what it is, but someone's telling me to slow down. So that's great. And the other thing I want to say, Mr. Easton, is, and kudos, is that I know when he first talked about this, it hadn't been that long ago. So kudos that you guys have gotten this done.
Yeah, good work.
I think pretty quickly. I expect it maybe sometime next year that this would happen. To see this brought to us and that we're acting on it now is just awesome. So first of all, thank you, and thank you. And if we approve this, thank our board because I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, this is for $21,600 for digital speed signs at the appropriate schools, going in the appropriate direction. Roll call vote, please.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mrs. Howard,
Yes.
Mrs. Kear,
Yes.
Mr. Easton,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader,
Yes.
Dr. Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Reed.
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Okay, Mr. Klett, you got what you wanted. Yeah. Nice tie,
There
okay?
you go.
Nice tie.
Thank you.
You don't have trombones and things on your tie,
Well,
though.
I will have the next.
I mean,
Please don't give them that.
Give me another meeting. I'll
don't
be ready.
encourage them. I know, who knows what'll be on there. You know. This should be informational items, if I'm not mistaken, which would be you, Dr. Geddes. What do you have for, any information for us?
Can I just do information comments or combo?
You can do both.
All right, let's, thank you for all the buildings to teachers for, all of the Martin Luther King celebrations that were happening. And I do appreciate your, attention to that really important event. And I want to say congratulations to Danville High School's own Mackenzie Blandon. She is the 2023 Martin Luther King Scholarship winner of $4,000. She plans to clap for her. She plans to study psychology. So, Glory Roan, I know we can kind of help her towards school psych, right? She wants to help people with anxiety and depression. And so, thank you for that. And congratulations again to her. Thank you for the whole team who came out to do the march and participate in the various, our own SRO out in the rain with us, participate in the various activities that we had as part of the city this Martin Luther King weekend. I appreciate you. I wanted to bring attention to highlight our team. This is actually from the State Board of Education. It's on their website. It's our own Kelly Truex, Molly Stannis at who? Bailey, that's right. And Jacoby, Chris Easton, right? Oh Lord, it's been a day. Chris Rice, Betsy Porter, and Mr. Hart. They're celebrated by the State Board of Education to talk about how District 118 is using Illinois Empower, the process, the money to see changes before Mr. Rice left and before the pandemic hit. We're going to bring that data to you because we had to go back to the state. They actually misrepresented a lot of our data in that final batch that went out, and they even changed numbers of the money that we received years prior. So that we had to go back to that. But Mr. Rice was making substantial gains over at Mead Park in both the attendance and what he really took the school improvement and the school improvement dollars and did a phenomenal job. And the state actually highlighted them. So that's actually on our website. We'll get that pushed out to you. So kudos to that team.
That team, yeah.
All right. DHS show choir. Is that right? DHS show choir started their season at Mount Zion on Saturday. The Contemporaries placed second in the unisex division, followed by a close third place for the executives. The delegation ended the day in seventh place overall out of 17 choirs. Outstanding Performer Awards went to Aiden Cox, Allie Cox, and Katie Cattell.
I wonder who they are.
They received Best Stage Crew overall. And just congratulations to the choirs. And don't forget that our Midwest Classic is coming up on February 3rd through the 4th at Danville High School. That's me.
That it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, left to right. Comments. Elder Park.
Thank you, Doc. I just want to say to Mr. Truex, I applaud you for what you have designed down there at the KDBA, because it's greatly needed. And so we thank you for the work that you and your team have put into this, because it's going to be, I believe it's going to be a truly blessing for them down there at KDBA. So God bless you.
Appreciate it.
I just want to thank all of the students that recognized me coming in to try to share, and I was impressed with the students because they were engaged. They had serious questions, and we did our best to try to, help them. But I was thankful for the teacher inviting me, and so again, love to continue to encourage our students. I mean, we have the majority of our students in District 118 that are blessing us. They're working hard, and so for all of that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Mrs. Cherry and all of the principals and all of the administrators, everyone that's working. My few minutes a week that I'm in the schools, my heart goes out again to all the hard work that our teachers and administrators are doing, and thank God for our board and our superintendent.
Just to piggyback on that, I spent many hours at the show choir competition. I have a vested interest. I want to say those kiddos left on a bus at 4:15 in the morning, and they got home at 11 o'clock at night. They made Danville look so proud. They were dressed up. Every one of them were dressed. And they were polite, and people kept noting, boy, those Danville kids are something, and they are. And for the stage crew to win the award, that means our parents are invested, our dads out there working hard, and that looks good for Danville too. So it's a great thing, and I applaud those kids and Jeff Thomas and all that are involved. It was great.
Thank you. Congratulations to your
Thank you.
your kids. Let's start at the end and work our way in.
I just want to thank the board and District 118 for sending some of the board members to the school board member training that happened in November. I got to learn a lot about school finance, so Narcissus is happy about that. Got to learn about how to prove that the things we're funding are working and how they're evidence based, and got to talk with a bunch of people in the field on how to do what we do as school board members better, and so that was much appreciated, and I'm grateful that they sent us on that. The other thing I just wanted to say, I got to sit at Danville High School during the Honors Assembly. I stopped counting, Miss Cherry, after 130 names on the program, so over 130 students. I'm grateful that the board has made it possible to honor those students, of course, but really grateful that our students are just stepping up in meaningful ways. It was just a delight to see them, and so congratulations to those students. But also, some of them brought teachers who made an impact, or staff who made an impact in their life, and that was really cool to see. The only other thing I'll share to the whole board, and it's something, Dr. Geddes, I hope we can maybe bring up later, because we've talked about it before. Early in December, I talked with Chief Yates about what it would take for us to get another school resource officer instead of having a part-time one at KDBA. And he basically told me that if this board voted to get a school resource officer, 1 year after that, we would be able to get one. So I hope that this board would consider doing that in the future. So maybe that's something we can talk about, because I think we, in light of recent events in the last few years, the more we have, I think the safer our students are. And then lastly, something that I'm not like real happy when I read was in our agenda, so I don't want you to like slip by it, but our ethnicity report doesn't reflect Danville, and so we can do a lot better. If you look at our staff ethnicity, it does not reflect the city of Danville, and I know, Dr. Geddes, we're working on things to help raise our own, but I think we can do better. It should look more like our census looks, and that's really just a hope that I have that we can do better, and I think everyone should go take a peek at it, because it's really not, it doesn't look good for us to look like that, and that's all I'll say.
I would like to say congratulations to Denver High School Show Choirs. I was there for Prima Vista, and I thought the kids did an outstanding job. I was really impressed with, we always have great voices. Danville has never had a problem there, but it was just the excitement of the kids supporting each other, because when you go to those, you want to make sure that you're supporting each other, and I thought that was great that night. So I really am excited about going to at least one of their competitions, but that was great. And so congratulations to them and for their season. The other thing was, back to Dr. Geddes and Pastor Miller about Martin Luther King. I was excited when my 4-year-old pre-K got in the car and said to me, "Grandma, do you know who Martin Luther King is?" 4 years old. And the reason that it excites me is because it lets me know that we're still covering that. A lot of times people don't feel like that the kids need to have that day or that the staff needs to have that day. It was exciting to see our kids out there leading the parade, then coming into the church. So it wasn't just a day off. I saw where the state of Illinois now is also recommending that we add another community service type of things to our students' curriculum. And, you know, we can't add anything else. We can't. But there are times and places that it can be put into place. So all I'm saying is thank you, staff, for continuing to let our kids know that they can do great things, that they are great people, and that people have paved the way for them to be where they are. And I did not mean we're going to run over children at Southwest. Let me get that clear before we go off the air. No, what I meant was, you've got to go down in there. But what I do see is that, you know, I like the circle. I like the double circle, that we go on one side for the pre-K and then the other side for the other kids, so that there is that space and we don't have traffic coming straight in there. So, no, I don't want to run over the children. No. But thank you.
I wanted to say congratulations, thank you to our future problem solvers from Danville High School. They have been doing what I would call an encouragement project. So we've heard about them in the last year. They've done the retired teachers. They've done a dinner for them, and they actually helped produce the Christmas party for the DHS teachers. And they're just about creating a culture of honor, and I think that's really important in our world, and that's really what that's about. And then they also during finals last week, they had like some welcome to school, good luck on your finals gifts for the students that were coming in. So this is a group of their peers that is really they've just really taken on encouragement as their project, and I was really inspired by that. So please, Ms. Cherry, tell those kids that they're doing a great job and they're noticed and they're appreciated.
They made they had lollipops in the middle, and then it said "Good luck, do your best," and they also had calming stickers.
Yes, like the ones that you touch, and yeah.
Yeah, all the administrators and the kids were out there.
We could use some calming stickers.
Yeah.
Send some this way. Well, tell them thank you for us. And this is the second semester. You know, for those of us who are kind of out there in the world, it feels like we're in the middle of January, but this week started the second semester for our students. So if you know students that are out there, it's a blank page for them. It's a blank canvas. Whatever they had a chance to do last semester, they get to start fresh. And so it's just a real chance for us all to be an encouragement to them. You know, it's a new day, and it's always a new day, but really it's like a brand new clean notebook. So they're going to get a chance to have extra encouragement. And so if you have a neighbor that is new or who's a school age student, just know that that's a good way that you can encourage them too, and moms and dads as well. And then I just lastly wanted to remark about Mr. Easton. He was he was so excited about this sign thing. He was like all excited about it, and just the way you tracked that down, the way that you just took ownership of the project and handled it, and the enthusiasm when it started directing. And of course, Mr. Hart was super involved too, but Mr. Hart has to be. So, but Mr. Easton, I don't know. I was just excited about. I was inspired and encouraged, and it was an exciting time to watch that. And then when it came here, wow, look what we did. Look what we all did for Danville. So that's it.
Thank you. I agree with that, so I don't have to say anything. Show choirs, yeah, this is a crazy time of the year now because it's a mad dash now, and we all know that, to this second half of the year. Because you now have show choirs, bands, jazz bands, you have all these groups that have been getting stuff ready, and now they're going to go out and compete. Basketball teams, wrestlers,
Cheerleaders.
Everything. So this is really an exciting time, I think, for our district because all of them. I mean, we have elementary competitions going on. And so the teachers are engaged, the parents are engaged. It's kind of like the fruits of our early labors are being harvested now till the end of the year. So good luck to everybody, and as we go forth, it's fun to see that. We normally make Mount Zion, we go to that just to see the first competition. We didn't get to this year, so we have to go somewhere else. I think we'll go to St. Louis or something, yeah. We'll go somewhere. So we look forward to seeing that, and Midwest Classic. With that, we are now adjourned, so go home while it's still early. Thank you very much, y'all.
John, I'm gonna